Hi guys, we are back again with our project. I hope you guys remember us. Like we had an app going through, we made it successfully, like clinical message and alert platform. Uh, and we are here at the end of our journey, which we had started it like from March. And these are our friend, as you remember, myself, Mohsin Nawaz, Sweta, and Sai Chandu, and our not but not least our project team leader Uha Maikota. And coming over to this video, I hope this is the end of our session, which academically and by the way our journey to this progression of our app and coming to an end. What client was expecting us, to deliver him what he wanted from the starting. Coming over to our journey, starting from like what we approach, what we have been gathered through the analysis and whatever the process we have been gone through. And this is basically an innovative app which is not like been assigned by the Fed Uni. We didn't take any a project from Fed Uni, especially our Uha has gone through, like met this client whose name is Marcus Young. He's the R&D department in research and development in Inkata, uh, and Inkata has been dealing with like a mobile application. They were like looking for a mobile application which can deal with alerts and messaging platform, which can just send a quick and at a glance thing, to the doctors, so they just in their busy schedule, they just gonna go through the app, and they can have a quick look of the patients whichever they are being assigned by the hospitals, and go through whatever the scenarios, whatever the track record, the reports or pathological reports and everything. So basically, uh, that's what our criteria was. And coming over to our journey from the starting, as I said earlier, from the March, it was like wonderful. Even even after like having a great um, partners, we had a like pretty much issue with the pandemic. Like we can't go to the college. Even we had like just met with like only in 1 week, and where we had gone through our course coordinator, and we have presented our submitted our project for the university to got approved, but it didn't get approved till like week 2. I don't know what happened, but after we got approval from the Fed Uni that it's been eligible for doing a project, and we pretty much like very excited, like we were like on the edge of the nerves, so that we can just give our best on whatever we are being assigned. Coming over to our roles, as we said earlier, the Uha was our team leader, and Sai was the main developer of our app, and me myself and Sweta were doing the front end designing and the testing for myself, and Sweta was doing the documentation part. And coming over to the app, which where we had an idea from the starting, from the week 2, we pretty much had an idea what our client. We just didn't want to just get deviated from the main ideology of our client. He was just like, basically he just needed the 3 criterias, which he was like strict to these things. He just needed a simple app, very user friendly, which has to be like very very quick at a glance thing, as I said earlier, so that the doctor in his busy schedule just have a quick look and go through the app and patient details and everything. And this thing has to be get notified by the admin. The doctor has opened, as has seen the notification, so that it get recorded in the database. But the main criteria from the client was comes right now. He just needed it to be get deleted in 24 hours, regardless of the notification has been seen or unseen. It doesn't depend upon the doctor has he seen the notification or not. We just need it to be get deleted from the database, the notification of the patient details. As you know, the notification of the patients are very very secure and intangible, so that no one can get it. So the ideology of a client was, it should get deleted in 24 hours. And that's the prettiest tricky part we have been dealing, according to our Sai, and we as we experience from the group. And Coming over to week 3, we had like a project story map, what we have been what we had to go through and what we had to design, and what ideology we had to use to come up, what apps, what framework we had to use. Is it like Node.js, uh, for the front end of React Native, and for the back end, for the database, MongoDB. We ended up like using MongoDB for database, and Tomcat server for the server, Apache Tomcat. And we have been like pretty much get to use to these apps, not only like overall, but a borderline, so that we can understand what's going on, not briefly, like overall from the tip of the bug, so that we can just have an idea. Thanks to our teammate Sai, who just explained all the things from the day one, what's going on, what's the challenges are we gonna be handled in the coming weeks. And and coming over to week 4 and week 5, we had like actually we used the agile methodology, which is like the best one you can get. Like we can just go through in the process back in the time, just reversing and just go through. If we had any error occur in, hopefully we had to get errors. We are not like supreme things to be done. But anyway, we have been just gone through the in this agile methodology, like in the scrums, so that we can go back in the developing stages wherever we just got struck. And we just divided the whole thing into 3 sprints, whatever we were required in the sprint 1 and the sprint 2 and the sprint 3. Sprint 1 was basically with the design or in prototype, like what we had an idea, so that we just go through and apply it onto the code. And the base, coming over to the sprint 2, we had like pretty much designing stage, the bring out the life of the app, so writing the code and everything. Coming over the third stage, the third sprint, was like connecting the front end and the back end, integrating them so that they both can communicate. The front end was dealing with us, the back end was dealing by him, Sai. He was creating everything so that the both has to understand. That's what we had gone through for the sprint 3. And coming over to my part, what I have been given the role and what I have given my part and my work on this app, like from the starting, is the tester and the scrum master. Coming over to the tester, it doesn't seem like a big task, but it definitely is the biggest task, so that the app is gonna be like what the client has assumed. Are we gonna deliver the thing or not? From the starting, like white box testing. Coming over to the testing has to be like not at the end. We were just from the starting. We were going through what are the steps, like basically like unit testing, integration testing, database testing, and especially API testing. What API is doing, is it connecting is it calling the server or not? We coming over to the, like as I said earlier, unit testing. Unit testing is just not like as we know what's the basic definition is unit testing. The units, each individual unit, like the login page, the sign up page, registration and dashboard, and the patient details, what we had in our system, what we have been designed. Like pretty much we ended up like successfully all the times, but we pretty much had a hurdles over and there, but we ended up like solved them and rectified them, and finally, with the help of all together help, and we just succeeded it, finally. Coming over to the main part, finally we like designated an app like which completes the requirements of the client, and even not only the client, university's requirement, what majorly were expecting us to major in, not just like build an app and just hand it over the client, what they were trying to furnish the skills of ours, so that they just enhance our skills, what we like learned in semester 1 and semester 2, semester 3. The system testing, basically coming over to my side, what I have like learned, like we have been learned like system testing in the previous semesters, but what I had just a theoretical knowledge back then. Even I had an assignment and over all this, but coming over to the project, we had to give like a life to it. Just we had to watch. We can't just predict the wrong thing, it's gonna happen right now. You had to check it. That's the testing. You had to go through every each and layer coding, not only like the coding for the database or not server, entire thing, the integration testing as well. Is it being, the API is calling the server, and the server is responding to the API, and then the API is giving back the details to the app, you know and the app is like, usually when the user logins and tries to sign up the page for the app, is the details are going back to the database. It has to the connection between these two things. The API does this thing, pretty much, takes the credentials, and moreover, coming to the credential, the password has to be like secure. It neither like the not even the admin or the user has the access to see what password he's been storing. So we usually JS tokens, which gets like generate like random token numbers, which cannot be decoded by the even by the admin end, so that it can just get stored. Coming over to the end of the video, we just successfully done it, made it, had gone through it, and we pretty much had a discussion with our client to deliver the next version of our app with more enhanced feature, like what pretty much he had, with like more user friendly and more easily adaptable for the even for the real life, like on real time basis. So that we are pretty much hoping from Marcus end as well. And coming over, this app maybe like is gonna be like used in has been like a story uh, to be used in Austin Research Hospital, so that the hospital guys can use it. And more to coming, I would like to thank my team members who just made this Herculean task easy for me, to do it for myself. And not only like for my course coordinator, my lecturer, and more coming to my client. He was very, very friendly, and like in this pandemic situation, he was like receiving our calls, answering our, clarifying our doubts, rectifying them, and like on the spot. He was not just delaying anything. And moreover, coming over to the end, I'd just like to thank the university for giving me this opportunity for executing this app. That's it, guys. That's from my end, and hope you guys like it and like it. Okay, thank you.